The Young and the Restless spoilers weekly Saturdays full episodes November 9th, 2024. A dangerous game, Jill, Victor, and the battle for control in Genoa City. When Jill Abbott returned to Genoa City after a prolonged absence, she had one clear destination in mind: Victor Newman. The question on everyone's lips was simple: why did she go straight to Victor, the man who had once been both an ally and adversary? Was this a strategic move or just an inevitable confrontation between two powerful figures in Genoa City? Jill's first stop was no accident. She had come back to town with a purpose, one that wasn't merely about reclaiming her place in the Abbott family's power structure, but about keeping a closer eye on the dangerous game Victor was playing, one that could destroy everything she held dear, particularly her son, Billy. Victor's hidden agenda, a threat to Billy and Chancellor Abbott. Victor Newman, as always, was up to something. His business acumen and ruthless tactics were legendary, and his ambitions never ceased. Recently, he had set his sights on taking over Chancellor Abbott, a move that would significantly bolster his already vast empire. But Victor's ambitions didn't stop there. His intentions were darker than anyone could have predicted. He planned to use Billy Abbott as a pawn in his scheme, all in the name of consolidating more power. Jill, ever the protective mother, was not blind to Victor's machinations. She knew exactly what Victor was capable of and what he intended to do. And despite her long-standing history with him, she wasn't about to let him succeed in his latest plan, especially if it meant harming her son. Jill was no stranger to Victor's ruthless tactics, and she wasn't about to let history repeat itself at the expense of her family. When she confronted Victor, it wasn't a friendly reunion. Jill came with a clear message: touch Billy, and you'll regret it. In the world of Genoa City, few people could make such a threat without consequences, but Victor knew better than to underestimate Jill's tenacity. After all, Jill had a way of getting under Victor's skin, one that no one else in the city could manage. Victor's fear and respect for Jill. The power dynamic between Jill and Victor had always been an interesting one. Victor, known for his dominance and control, found himself strangely vulnerable when it came to Jill. There was something about her unyielding determination and fierce loyalty to her family that forced even someone as formidable as Victor to tread carefully. While he had no qualms about stepping on anyone else to get what he wanted, Jill was a different matter entirely. She could be just as merciless as him, but her motives were rooted in something more sacred: family. Victor understood the message Jill had conveyed. He had no intention of crossing her in this instance. While he respected Jill's strength and ability to protect her loved ones, he also knew that the stakes were higher than ever. If there was one thing Victor understood well, it was that Jill Abbott would do whatever it took to defend her family, no matter the cost. Ashley's return, a new alliance, or a ticking time bomb? As Jill's confrontation with Victor settled into uneasy silence, another figure was making her re-entry into Genoa City: Ashley Abbott. Ashley's return to town was met with joy and relief, particularly as the holiday season approached. For many, Ashley's presence brought a sense of hope that things could finally return to normal after the chaos that had consumed the Abbott family in recent years. But Ashley's return was not just a sentimental gesture. As someone deeply embedded in the Abbott family's legacy, Ashley had her own plans for the future of Chancellor Abbott and the family's fortune. She wasn't just returning to celebrate the season. She was back to stake her claim in the family's empire, and she wasn't going to let Victor or anyone else dictate the future of the Abbott legacy. While Jill and Ashley had always shared a complicated relationship, they both understood the value of unity in the face of outside threats. However, the question remained: would they be able to set aside their differences and work together, or would old grudges resurface and jeopardize everything? Lily and Devin, the plot to undermine Billy. Back in the world of the younger generation, Lily Winters and Devin Hamilton were busy devising their own plans to deal with Billy Abbott. Lily, ever the strategist, had long been frustrated with Billy's impulsive behavior and his tendency to take unnecessary risks. Devin, on the other hand, was more emotionally invested in their plans. His dislike for Billy's reckless nature wasn't just professional, it was personal. Devin had watched Billy's choices lead to pain and disappointment for those he loved, and he wasn't willing to let it continue. Together, Lily and Devin formulated a scheme to bring Billy down, one that involved exposing his vulnerabilities and using them against him. But as they worked in the shadows, a new complication emerged: Devon's growing fascination with Amy. Amy, a woman with her own set of secrets, had quickly caught Devon's attention. He became obsessed with unraveling her mystery and finding out what she was really after. Was she a potential ally in their fight against Billy, or was she a wild card who could throw everything into chaos? Devon's warnings to Nate, protecting family at all costs. Devon's concern wasn't just about Billy anymore, it was about his family, particularly Nate Hastings. As much as Devon valued Nate's friendship, he knew that Nate was someone who often acted based on emotions rather than logic. Nate's deep feelings for Amy, which had quickly turned into infatuation, worried Devon. He feared that Nate, with his impulsive nature, could become another pawn in Amy's game. Devon, ever the protector, made sure to warn Nate about Amy's true intentions. He told him to be cautious, to keep his guard up, and to not let his feelings cloud his judgment. After all, Devon wasn't just concerned about his business interests, he was committed to keeping his family safe, no matter the cost. And just as Devon tried to steer Nate away from Amy, he found himself being warned by Amy in return. She knew that Devon was watching her closely, and she made it clear that if he interfered with her plans, there would be consequences. Amy's warning was blunt: stay out of my way, or I'll make you regret it. This new tension between Devon and Amy was just the beginning. It was clear that the game of power, deception, and loyalty was about to take on a new level of complexity in Genoa City. With Victor, Jill, Ashley, Lily, Devon, Billy, and Amy all playing their parts, no one could predict how the battle for control of the Abbott empire would unfold. But one thing was certain: this was a game that would test everyone's limits. The uncertain future, a web of deceit and loyalty. As the days passed, Genoa City became a battleground of loyalties, power plays, and long-buried secrets. Jill's warning to Victor set the stage for an intense rivalry, one that would define the coming months. Meanwhile, Ashley's return introduced new alliances and potential betrayals within the Abbott family. The younger generation, led by Lily and Devon, was locked in a battle of its own, trying to topple Billy while also navigating the murky waters of their own personal lives. Victor's and Jill's unresolved conflict, coupled with the simmering tension between Devon and Amy, promised to ignite a series of explosive confrontations. Would Billy rise above the schemes and protect his family's legacy, or would he fall victim to the machinations of those around him? Could Jill and Ashley put aside their differences to unite against a common enemy, or would old grudges tear the Abbott family apart once again?